spooky darlings. Welcome back. This week, the lines between fact and fiction are a little bit hazy. America's apparent first serial killer, H. Holmes, has been written about since his sensationalized exploits became known in the late 1800s. Since then, they've been exaggerated by the media, authors, and Holmes himself. His murder hotel has sadly been exaggerated. Finding out that the murder hotel was nothing like the hotel in American Horror, or any of the fictionalized accounts of it, has been a little bit depressing, to say the least. Now, in some accounts, including his own, Holmes killed 27 people, including a few kids, and in other accounts, once again, including his own, since he couldn't quite make up his mind on how many people he's actually killed, he's murdered over 130. Then there are other accounts where he's killed over 200 people. So, yeah, it's all a little... Yeah. So, Holmes was a well-known liar, swindler, and a confidence trickster, who even claimed to have killed people who turned out to be very much alive. Everything around H. Holmes and his murder hotel is murky, but oh so fucking fascinating. So here's what I do know. H. Holmes was born Herman Webster Mudgett in May 1861. Not even his birthday is for sure. It may have been the 7th or the 16th of May. As I said, everything about this man is dodgy as shit. Holmes was also a bigamist, with about 3 wives and a whole bunch of mistresses. He moved to Chicago in August 1886 and changed his name to Dr. Henry Howard Holmes, or H. Holmes, to escape being exposed by victims of his scams in Philadelphia. Construction of his murder hotel began in 1887, and the 3-story building with a basement was completed in 1892. The ground floor was used as a storefront. The claims that the building contained secret torture chambers, trapdoors, gas chambers, and a basement crematorium are sadly not true. And also depressingly untrue are the claims that the hotel was made up of 100 rooms and laid out like a maze with doors into brick walls and windowless rooms and dead-end staircases. The boring truth is that it was a smallish hotel, and while it did have a few hidden rooms, they were only used for hiding furniture Holmes had bought on credit and didn't want to pay for. Now, although there were several people who disappeared from the hotel, and there was a partial skeleton, probably belonging to a young girl, discovered while excavating the basement, the fictional accounts are just so much more juicy and far more fun. So, Holmes's murders are also convoluted and hard to tell fact from fiction. But the murder he was actually convicted for was that of his business partner, Benjamin Pittersell. He'd convinced Pittersell to fake his death for an insurance fraud where Pittersell's wife would get $10,000 and share it with him. The scheme, which was to take place in Philadelphia, called for Pittersell to set himself up as an inventor under the name of B.F. Perry, and then be killed and disfigured in a lab explosion. Holmes was supposed to find an appropriate cadaver to play the role of Pittersell. Instead, Holmes killed Pittersell by knocking him out with chloroform and setting his body on fire with the use of benzene. In his confession, Holmes implied Pittersell was still alive after he used the chloroform on him, before he set him on fire. However, forensic evidence presented at Holmes's later trial showed that the chloroform had been administered after Pittersell's death. Once again, like everything with this guy, I'm a little confused. Did he burn the dead schmuck alive? And how did he get the chloroform on the char-grilled body? It's kind of gross. then again, I mean, the guy is a serial killer. And yeah. Anyway, Holmes went on to claim the insurance money and then went on to manipulate Pittel's unsuspecting wife and took custody of 3 of her 5 children, who he then went on to kill. Holmes later confessed to murdering Alison and Nellie, Pittel's 2 daughters, by forcing them into a large trunk and locking them inside it. He drilled a hole into the lid of the trunk and put one end of a hose through the hole, attaching the other end to a gas line to asphyxiate the poor girls. Holmes buried their nude bodies in the cellar of his rental house in Toronto. Their brothers' teeth and bones were discovered in a chimney of a cottage Holmes had rented in Indianapolis. Yeah. Holmes was finally arrested in Boston on the 17th of November, 1894, after being tracked by the Pinkerton Detective Agency. He was held on an outstanding warrant for horse theft in Texas. Yeah, I shit you not. He was put on trial in October 1895, found guilty, and sentenced to death for the murder of Benjamin Pittel. He was paid by the Hearst newspapers for his confession. In some accounts, he was paid $7,500 and in others, $10,000. So, once again, everything is just a smidge confusing. On the 7th of May, 1896, his death sentence was carried out by hanging. He asked that his coffin be put in cement and buried 10 feet deep, so that grave robbers couldn't get to his corpse. Holmes's neck didn't break. Instead, he slowly strangled to death, twitching for over 15 minutes. He was finally pronounced dead 20 minutes after the trap had sprung. Karma. Gotta love it. Anyway, that's it for this week. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share it with people who also find the dark and twisted things fascinating. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay away from dodgy hotels run by conmen. You may just end up in an actual murder hotel and find yourself being chased by the ghost of H.H. Holmes. Anyway, bye.